Coming up next on CHGO Cubs, it's Chicago's birthday. It's our birthday. CHGO is 3. It's a birthday bash show. We're celebrating with good news on PCA. Plus, is third base better than we think? It's Fat Tuesday. Gorge with us next. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast presented by Toyota. It is March 4th. It is our birthday. Thank you very much. Our third birthday here at CHGO and CHGO Cubs. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo with you. Joey running the ones and twos. And because it's our birthday, because it's a birthday bash, we're giving you, our loyal viewers, listeners, a deal that you can't pass up. A present to you. It is a one-day super deal on our Diehard membership. That's where all the sickos go. Diehards, here it is. This is the deal for you. Today only, ends at midnight. Sweetness of a deal, $34. Did you get that? Sweetness of a deal. Walter Payton, $34. Diehard membership, lowest price we've ever had, Cody. We've never gone this low. $34 for a year of being a diehard. What does that come with? It comes with all the perks. It comes with the free CHGO shirt. It comes for the 20% discounts on all the merch, all the events. It comes with the Discord, which is a great place. Gary likes to hang out there. Everything that comes with that. https://allchgo.com/birthday if you're looking for it.
I love that you said the HTTP or HTTP :
That's right.
Like
I
we
mean,
all
you could
know,
just say allchgo.com/birthday, but I like to, for the old people out there, https: before all that.
It was very on brand for you, Luke Stuckmeyer.
Happy birthday, Cody. Happy birthday.
It has been a pleasure being able to sit here with you for 3 years and talk about the same stuff every day.
Get a little more bitter every day.
I'm definitely getting a lot more bitter, Luke Stuckmeyer-wise, the last 3 years. No doubt. When I came in here 3 years ago, I was as delusional as you can define delusional.
Now you're informed, delusional, and bitter.
Yeah. I'm a really
making Cody great again.
Really
here we
good, are. Combination of all three. Yeah. So, it's great.
3 years.
Great day
Hard to
for us,
believe.
man. Yeah,
maybe,
it is hard
maybe
to
we
believe.
can have a real playoff team this year. An actual
so.
playoff team would be the gift we're looking for. We'll get to that in just a little bit. We're going to talk about PCA status. Missed yesterday's game. There's good news there. We're going to talk about third base a little bit. I've got a little birthday game lined up for everybody in the live YouTube chat, which is the best way to enjoy the CHGO experience. Make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube page. Yeah.
Bob in the chat, he asked if there's any new Cubs merch coming, and we haven't released it yet. But we'll just call it a tease. Like we will have merch before the season.
That's right. New merch.
And I've been pushing more Friday 120 Club stuff too. So we'll see what our friends at the merch store do for us. But we'll just say that's a tease, and let that be part of your gift today as well, as knowing that.
I feel like our two of our best shirts, Hey Chicago, what do you say? I think it's one of our better selling ones. And, of course, the Friday 120 Club.
Oh, yeah.
Done really well. We'll be back again this year. We got Showed on the Mound today. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the lineup. Hey, we wanted to mention that our former teammates, Herb and Ryan, are teaming up. This is good news because they're OGs, always will be OGs here at CHGO and ALLCITY. Herb and Ryan today announced they're teaming up for Addison to 35th. That's a new baseball podcast. It's an all Chicago baseball podcast, right? So it's from Wrigley, basically, north side to the south side. That's the Just Baseball Network. So congratulations to Ryan and Herb. We wish them lots of luck, and I will be listening.
them releasing it on Chicago's birthday, is chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss, beautiful.
Looking forward,
lining up.
Looking forward to checking that out. There's been some people out there making some new shows. Bleacher Nation released their own Cubs podcast last week.
I saw that,
and I was listening to it coming in. Really good stuff as well. Really good stuff from our friends Brett Taylor and Michael Cerami. Listen, we are a community of Cubs fans. We're supporting everyone, man. We always have, always will.
I'm never disappointed when somebody's talking Cubs baseball.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Like, if it's another podcast, great. If it's a TV show, great. If it's a radio segment, great. Yeah. I just like to hear people talking Cubs baseball, including everybody in the live YouTube chat, and we like to give them, a voice as well. So, I don't know what you want to hit. The birthday game is going to be something. I'm just going to put that out there. It's going to be something.
Will it be better than the Chuggos yesterday, Luke?
Well, no, because there's not much better than the Chuggos. But
that's very Michael Scott of you to say.
It is our birthday, so I had to come up with something.
Yeah.
But the Diehard deal is really $34 for the whole year. You're looking to give somebody a gift right now. $34. That's nothing. Yeah. That's like 2 cartons of eggs. Don't do the math on me, but it's close. It's like 2 cartons of eggs right now.
Yeah, don't depress me.
2 hot dogs, bag of peanuts.
At Wrigley?
Yep.
Yeah. That's two beers at Wrigley.
So do you want me to hit you with more good news to start the podcast, or should I get right to some of the bad news?
Let's save the bad news because we're on a high right now. It's our birthday. We're celebrating.
We're going to go good news first. PCA's back in the lineup today. PCA's fine. Craig Counsell said this morning that when he held him out of the lineup yesterday because of sore hamstring or hamstring soreness, take however you want to say it, it was just something he felt in warmups, and his day was done, and they were like, okay, that's enough. And he came out today, and Counsell said, I just want to see you run. If you really, truly say everything is fine, see run. And he was fine. So he's back in. They were being precautious yesterday, which I love, because when I thought it was serious, like, hamstring, you're thinking, well, how bad can this get? Matt Shaw's hurt. Owen Casey's hurt. PCA's hurt. Yeah. Assad is hurt.
Right.
Who's the pitcher I keep forgetting? The young pitcher, somebody in the chat will have it. Who's the pitcher that got hurt the same time as Assad? Birdsell.
Oh, yeah. Birdsell,
so it's like, of your young players, guys that were, Ben Brown was coming back from injury, but you had PCA, Owen Casey, Matt Shaw, and Birdsell, 4 of your top prospects / young players, all banged up before the start of the season. It was like the least positive thing. Yes, and Assad is still hurt. Least positive thing you could have. Yeah. So the good news is PCA is back. He's going to play, and he's okay.
Yeah. Encouraging to see them, especially in spring training, encouraging to see them put Pete back in the lineup. I don't blame anyone for being concerned, considering how this organization basically lies to our faces about injuries on a daily basis. So, yeah, no, it's encouraging to see him back out there, and because not only would PCA being hurt the team, but it will stall his development.
Oh,
you know, and I don't know which one bothers me more. So I don't really want to think about it. Just happy that he's healthy and he's in the lineup today. And, this is kind of what goes in, this kind of conversation kind of goes into why we talk about in the offseason about how depth is important, how they need, as much as some people might not like it, like the arms they went and got in the bullpen, and in this battle for those spots on this opening day roster are important because the guys are getting hurt all the time and they need the good depth. That said, if PCA would have missed time, I feel pretty good about Kevin Alcantara taking that spot, the kind of spring he's had. But at the same time, I'd rather them both be able to be out there. You know what I mean? So, it's, again, just good that it really was a precautionary thing, because the way they've tried to sell Matt Shaw to us the last 3 weeks or whatever, it's been like, we all just be honest with us, So, anyway.
I saw Joey brought this up when he walked in today. He was talking about PCA. Yeah. We're excited. But who was it? Who was it, and what did they call him?
This morning when I was checking up to see if PCA's injury, is he back in the lineup? And Sports Illustrated said star center fielder Pete Crow-Armstrong out of lineup on Monday, and I was like, all right, let's take it down.
I love the confidence. It sounds like Cody may have written the headline, but I don't know. Like, he's got stars in his hair, and he has star potential. But to call him star center fielder, which maybe we have done on this podcast, but at times we're a little homerish.
Well, yeah.
Does that seem a little soon to call him a star?
Yes.
I mean, he had like how many good weeks at the end of the season? We can't forget that the first half of the season was horrific.
Yeah, but we also made an argument that maybe he deserves to be on the top 10 center fielder list.
Well, that's the delusional part of us, maybe.
I guess.
It's just the positive thinking. Like, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. I think he's going to be a star. I think he's going to have a great season. I think he's going to exceed projections. But when Sports Illustrated calls him star outfielder, I'm wondering, is that clickbait?
Or, I thought it was Kyle Tucker. I thought Kyle Tucker was hurt all of a sudden when they said star outfielder. I was like, what's going on?
Do not put that into the air, Joey.
It's their birthday, I know.
Come on, man. Also, by the way, I hope Kyle Tucker strikes out 3 more times today. We need
to get it all out of the way.
Get it all the back.
Yeah.
Oh my! I want Kyle Tucker to be so bad this spring.
Yeah, like
that
an
people
for spring training slump.
That Godfather comes into the chat and starts saying that he sucks. That's how bad I want Kyle Tucker to be the rest of the spring. Outside of when they go to Japan, because I'm telling you, none of this shit matters for a guy of his caliber. What's going on in the spring? None of it matters. And if you want to use anything of recent, remember when Dansby, his first year, the spring, went like 1 for 28.
And then he got off to a good start.
And he got off to a good start in April. Yeah.
And
he probably would have finished the season better if he didn't get hurt, but whatever. You know, like for guys who have been there, done that, none of this matters. Spring training is all about these guys trying to make rosters, these young players who are trying to make an impression, stuff like that. Kyle Tucker, a top 20 player in baseball. So, yeah, strike out 3 more times today, Kyle. I appreciate it. Get all the bad out while you can.
Godfather of CHGO Cubs with the beautiful memory for us. He says, since the podcast has started, Ricketts has been cheap. Thank you. That's on brand. That's on brand for 3 years.
Can this be another gift that I feel like we haven't just straight up said it, but in regards to Cubs ownership, can we just go ahead and say that Godfather has always been right about it as much as I've defended it?
He's getting closer.
You know, like
he's getting closer.
He especially this offseason, he's not wrong. You know, like he's only proving it. I think that let that be a gift to you on a day like today, Godfather. I am leaning more towards a Godfather on Cubs ownership more than ever. After the offseason we just went through. Anyway,
by the way, Barb's pointing out that she thinks I got expensive tea today. And I did, but as of tomorrow, I'm going to start just putting tap water in the cup. That's the way it's going to have to be from now on. Okay? Showed up back on the mound today, and I question, is this the lineup we will see on opening day in Japan, which is 2 weeks away, right? Aren't we exactly 2 weeks away from opening day today? Hard to believe. We're going to be here for a 5 a.m. game in 2 weeks.
I'm still waiting to hear if are we going to do pre and post
I don't know if we're doing pre because that would be 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
And it seems like it'd be a very small group. But I'm pretty confident we're going to do post.
Right here
in studio. Breakfast with the boys, we're going to call it.
Good morning, CHGO.
Good morning, CHGO.
I'm expecting bacon and eggs from Luke Stuckmeyer.
Well, there's nothing. I don't make scrambled eggs in the microwave, and there's no stovetop here.
Yeah, that's fair.
And by the way, I make killer scrambled eggs. Yeah, killer scrambled eggs.
I expect donuts then.
I don't have time to pick up donuts. I'm going to have to leave my house at 4:15 in the morning.
Sunrise grilled cheese, calling it. No?
Well, actually, you know what? I think Grubhub delivers do-right. Opening day. Is that in the budget? Do we have that in the budget? Do-right for opening day? I'm going to throw that out to the bosses. Did you see the big truck we had going around for our birthday, by the way?
I did.
Downtown, Ogilvy Station.
It stopped at a Jewel, too. Mm-hmm. And I am a little bothered that they decided to go to guaranteed rate before Wrigley. But other than that, it's been pretty cool.
They had to work their way up.
Yeah.
work their way north.
I mean, they did start. They did start in the loop. Whatever.
Well, Carm was part of it, so he wanted to go Sox first because he's a Sox fan.
Obviously,
they started running his morning errands for him. They stopped at FedEx for Carm. They went around.
All right, we're going to talk about this lineup in a second, but first we're going to tell you about our great sponsors that keep us going here at CHGO, and we've got some new ones.
Oh,
that's right. Boston Beer, light beer, just got better. Introducing Sam Adams American Light. It's clean, it's crisp, it's super easy to drink. Sam Adams American Light is not your average light beer. It's brewed with 100% American-sourced ingredients from local independent farmers. Light beer that's made right. Nobody wants to feel all full and bloated after a couple sips. So you got to check out Sam Adams American Light. Opening day, exactly 2 weeks from today. Plus, we've got the brackets ready to be filled out. Perfect timing right now to try this. But let's face it, it's always Sam season. Light beer just got better. Grab some Sam Adams American Light. Available now at select Chicago retailers. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly.
America's first ever USDA organic CBD company, Cornbread Hemp, is here. You can get it online. I keep emphasizing this because I looked like a fool last week, all right? Their mission at Cornbread is to improve your quality of life with the highest quality hemp. If you know what moment I'm talking about, you watch this show on a daily basis. Anyway, if life's been a little crazy, I know Luke's is. He's got 2 kids at home, all right? They're crying. They're blowing snot out of their nose all the time. He's telling me stories. He's probably really stressed.
They're also blowing me kisses.
And yes, right. But he's also
and they want uppies.
He comes in here and he is tired every day. All right. He could use some cornbread hemp. I'm just saying. All right. One thing that helps Luke unwind, and me at times as well, is Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. All right. If you've been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort, the CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body, not against it. I'm not as young as I once was. Neither is Luke. This isn't This isn't an old joke, but I do care about maintaining my physical and mental wellness. All right. Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies are a huge piece of my wellness plan. Have you tried everything under the sun for peace of mind? It sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. All right. So right now they're offering CHGO listeners 30% off your first order. Just visit cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO and use promo code CHGO at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO and use code CHGO for 30% off your first order. This is the good life, Luke.
Very nice. I see De La Cruz in the live YouTube chat says Fat Pockets Tuesday, sponsored by the Ricketts. That is not one of our new sponsors. That is not one of our new sponsors. But as far as going back to the Sam Adams American Light, Cody will be pounding those out of the beer bats this year. Maybe, I don't know. We don't have a show every single day, right? Because we're going to have some that fall on days, wins that fall on days. How many do you think we're going to do this year? How many beer bat chugs?
I mean, I have a bat at home.
2 a week? If we personally do 4, let's say we do 4 post-game shows a week.
Yeah, which we will, because Corey will run it on Fridays,
right?
Thursdays, whatever.
So we're going to have at least 1 a week. You got to have at least 1 a week. If we have weeks where we don't have beer bat chugs, we're having problems.
Unfortunately, we had times like that last year, and I was very, very depressed.
Well, Cody went through a stretch where it was just like, and then he had to build his tolerance back up. The one time he almost threw up right on the set.
I did not almost throw up.
But that was a lesser beer.
That was, yes. I didn't almost throw up on the set, by the way.
He spit it up. Yeah. He coughed a little bit. I think he coughed a little bit, and then it came.
I did.
Like,
it went
he
down.
Looked at me, and I could see him turning, and I could see it getting ready to spray. And I'm
this is not on Cody. It's on the Chicago Cubs' 2-month offensive slump, quote unquote.
They made beer hurl out of his mouth. God. Of course, it was not Sam Adams because that never would happen because that's so light.
It went under, or it went down the wrong pipe.
Went down the wrong pipe. But again, it was a lesser beer. This beer now, even if you swallow down the wrong pipe, you're okay.
Yeah. Vince in the chat says over under 1.5 beer bats a week.
That's a great wager.
I'll take the over. Give us the over. I like this team. I know we're going to do our previews and stuff at some point this month, but
it looked like a tsunami.
It looked like a tsunami. Barb, what are you talking about? What do you? Oh my!
So the lineup today for the Cubs: Happ, Tucker, Suzuki, Bush, Shaw at third, Swanson at short, PCA in center, Amaya catching, Birdie playing second, Imanaga on the mound. Will this be the lineup the Cubs put out there opening day against the Dodgers 2 weeks from today? I think that's what they're at least trying to target and tell us. That's what I think with 2 weeks before that.
I will be surprised if Shaw is batting fifth, but given who's below him in this particular lineup, I mean, I'm not against it.
I think the top four could be that for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I
think these could be the players, but maybe the bottom half is twisted a little bit.
Yeah. As far as will this be the people who play in that particular game, I mean, it's looking like that is more likely. I argued yesterday that Shaw should go to Japan if he's healthy this week and if he has some success. So we'll see how he does in this game. He'll play today. Probably won't. Will play Thursday and then he'll play Saturday. So he's got 3 more games after this one. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm like I said yesterday, I'm pro for him to go to Japan if he's healthy. If he's healthy, there's no restrictions at all. There's no reason for me to believe that he shouldn't go to Japan unless the Cubs are really just being super cautious. But we're going to be super cautious about 2 games that actually matter. Then we should have been cautious about Nico Horner and Dansby Swanson last year then.
I think he's the most questionable part of, is this the lineup 2 weeks from today, right? Mm-hmm. Is Shaw going to be the third baseman? De La Cruz mentions in the live YouTube chat, no Workman.
Tater?
Well, I mean, he's making a case.
Did you know his middle name is Tater?
I did.
I just feel like if your middle name is Tater,
excuse me,
if you're
swallowed some beer wrong way.
He's drinking out of his Starbucks cup. If your middle name is Tater, you have to be good at baseball. It's like Jack Neely in the stash. It's like Jack Neely in the stash. You have to be good at baseball if you're going to have that stash.
That's true, but my middle name could be Tater too because I love them taters.
I mean, who doesn't like a
What's
potato?
What's your middle name, Flapjack?
My middle name is Mashed. My middle name is au gratin. My middle name is Fried.
Yeah, I mean, dudes that mash in Major League Baseball are arm wrestling aficionados.
My middle name is Sweet. Yeah. No.
Shredded. Hash browns.
Yeah. But what De La Cruz is saying, though, Gage Workman has been impressive this spring. So
is he a lock? Is he a lock? If he's healthy right now, is he a lock to make the roster for opening day and stateside too?
If you forced me to have to choose between Gage Workman and Vidal Brujan right now, it's very hard because they're both having excellent springs. Craig Counsell talked about both of them yesterday, tweeted some of the quotes from Marquis on our Twitter account yesterday. And Counsell talked a lot about how Gage Workman he's in the toughest situation coming into camp.
Yeah, said nobody's had it harder coming in.
Right.
Because he's a Rule 5 guy.
Right. And it's a new organization and all these things. Yeah. And I think, again, when it comes to spring training results, it does matter for certain guys. And he's one of those guys that I think it for sure matters. He's trying to earn a spot on this team. And to me, the bare minimum that I feel really confident that he would give the Cubs is great defense. And he's versatile. Craig Counsell said like a week or two ago that might have been last week that he's basically like the backup shortstop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's played some corner outfield as well. So shown to be a little versatile, shown at third base to be a really good glove. Fangraphs grade him as a 70 for defense. So I think that if I had to choose between those two right now, I would go with Workman just because of the power.
I mean,
that and the defense, to go with the defense.
He's taking Master Boney's spot in my eyes. I know some people say wisdom. Fine, if you want to say wisdom. He's way better defensively than either of those guys at third base.
Yeah.
And he can play short, which, obviously Wisdom wasn't going to play short. And he can play off, and he's got the power. Now, yeah, it's only been 26 plate appearances in the spring, so I'm not going to go crazy. But Fangraphs And the projections, and we know Cubs need to exceed projections, the projections for this guy, the Zips projections, they see something too. They see 12 home runs out of him this year. I was shocked when we went into the Zips and said they expect 522 plate appearances for him in a Cubs uniform this season and a 1.6 F-WAR. They think he's going to play, and they think he's going to make a difference.
And that's just to go with that. When you said that you think he's basically replacing Mastrobuoni, my pushback on that is the fact that he plays third base.
Yeah.
And listen, we can all be as high as we want about Matt Shaw. I am as high on Matt Shaw as if I went and had some of these CBD gummies, okay? But we still don't know what Matt Shaw will be. And so if he does struggle, then that does open up an opportunity for him. But then also, like I said, his ability to be versatile shows that he can be used in other places. So if we're going to compare him to a player on the bench last year, I more so see him, and it's a different position, but I more so see him as someone like Mike Tauchman. Now, the bat hasn't shown.
Well, that's what those numbers would tell you, right? Like that's
right. The bat has not proved a thing at the major league level yet, right? But based off what I've seen in the spring, he's got great plate discipline. He's a left-handed bat, just like Mike Tauchman. Now, will he be an on-base machine like Mike Tauchman was? Probably not. But I think that defense that he's displayed so far makes up for that. And if he can just play his role really well, I think Craig Counsell will play him. But yeah, he's got to make the roster first. But the good news for him is that it's not like they have a ton of great depth at third base.
No, and the Zips projections that I mentioned, this is why I asked, is third base better than maybe we thought it was? Is that possible? Zips is saying 507 at-bats for Shaw, 16 homers, 12 for Workman. Okay, you're talking over 25 home runs from third base this year? Mm-hmm. And potentially elite defense from Workman and pretty good defense from Shaw.
Who needs an Alex Bregman?
Luke? Well, that would tell you that. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, if that came through, you would say, why would you have spent the money on Bregman if we can get 25 plus home runs and really elite defense for dirt cheap, almost nothing, and have a future there? Because the money can go somewhere else. So then I was thinking, wait a minute, 25 home runs. How often do the Cubs get that at third base? There have been some recently, but third base has been a problem for a long time. So we looked up Cubs third basemen that have hit 25 home runs, and we're doing a combo thing to hit the 25 this time. Mm-hmm. Now, Wisdom hit the 25. He's one of 7 third basemen in Cubs history in really the modern era that have hit at least 25 home runs. You have to go back. The first was Andy Pafko in 1948. Then Ron Santo multiple times. Ron Say from the great team in 84. This one I didn't remember. Keith Moreland did it in 87 playing third base after Say was gone. Then Aramis Ramirez, Chris Bryant, and most recently, Patrick Wisdom. Listen, there's a lot of third basemen in between there that weren't hitting 20, 25 home runs. Aramis definitely did it. You had some good. You would be thrilled if you get 25 home runs out of third base, and Workman's there playing the type of defense we've seen, and hopefully Shaw's playing the type of defense that we saw him playing with Team USA.
Right. Well, I think as we saw with PCA last year, it was good for him to get those at-bats in, but I think that if you can put those guys in good matchup situations, perhaps we can get these numbers. So I don't know, man.
There is a path to forgetting about Bregman.
It's going to be what we look at all season, especially if the team struggles.
No question. All right, we're going to talk more Cubs baseball in a second. By the way, it's our birthday. And first, we're going to tell you about some of our great sponsors. The Chicago winter can be brutal, but Toyota helps make it easier. Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. That's more than any other auto brand out there. From the sleek Camry, all-wheel drive, to the Corolla Hybrid, all-wheel drive. They've got the Toyota Tundra. That's their truck, known for power, durability, and off-road capabilities, perfect for the Chicago winters. Maybe you're heading to a big game, or you got to go pile the kids in the car to go to a Little League game, or you're going on vacation sometime this spring, maybe spring break. It's the perfect ride, all-wheel drive, load up in the Grand Highlander, drive. That's the way you do it. You keep you and yours safe. They have more than any other auto brand. Did I say that? Have I said that enough? All-wheel drive. They got more than any other auto brand. Yeah. You want to be safe. So you bring the action. Toyota brings the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Don't forget, this is our birthday. This is a one-day deal going right now, guys. I can't say this enough. $34 for an entire year of being a CHGO Diehard. Upgrade your fandom right now today. The deal goes until midnight. We've never been this low before. Get access to our exclusive written content, the free t-shirt, plenty of discounts on future merch and events, plus access to our CHGO Discord lounge where we all hang out and talk Chicago sports and so much more. It's a great gift to hand out. Go to allchgo.com for the latest information on how you can join thousands of CHGO diehards in our community. Sometimes we even call them sickos. We can't wait to connect with you and grow on an even greater level. $34.
I only call them sickos.
We're talking Kerry Wood. We're talking Walter Payton. Yeah. We're talking, well, I don't want to give too many away. I don't want to give too many away.
Charles Oakley?
You going to let me read the
Charles Oakley. That's okay. Yeah, okay, go ahead, Cody.
I thought you were skipping ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to spring training on Thursday. And
credit to you.
And our bosses for letting me go.
Well, isn't that nice?
And, obviously I got to get the tickets on Game Time, right? Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Like I said, I'm going to go to Sloan Park. Got a nice little place set up about a 6-minute drive away. Might just walk. If it's a 6-minute drive, I might just walk.
Try the Waymo.
Yeah, try the Waymo. Waymo to Sloan Park.
Autonomous rides.
And while I'm in the Waymo, I'll open up the Game Time app and, we'll find a really cheap seat right before first pitch because that's when you're going to get the best value, right? I mentioned Game Time Picks and how it makes it easier to find better value on tickets, all right? They also have all-in pricing. You just look at Luke Stuckmeyer right now and you would know that he cannot stand a bait and switch.
Oh, it's disgusting.
He is absolutely disgusted by
should be illegal
by bait and switches. All right. On Game Time, they have the all-in pricing feature. When you toggle it, it shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. They got seat views, so you can see exactly where you're sitting, the view that you'll have. It's in a panoramic view, and you'll see it in the app before you buy. So it makes everything a lot easier and, decisions easier as well. They have the lowest price guarantee, where Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference, and your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Cody, I'm a little upset. I'm a little disappointed. It's our birthday. We're 3 years old today. It's Chicago's birthday today, and only 27 people have given us a thumbs up. You too can help these starving animals by hitting that like button. By starving animals, I mean Cody and I.
I do like Vince's comment, though. He says, happy birthday. Nice. Only been following from last year, but I've enjoyed the season. Thanks to y'all and everyone at CHGO Sports. Cheers to year 3 and hoot to many more. Hoot? I like that hoot. I like that.
Since it's our birthday, I was going to do a sec. Maybe we'll wing this.
Shout out to the person who just thumbs down, by the way.
Yes.
Whoever you are. Whoever you are, after we just said
it went away. It went away. They changed it. Now we got 28.
They changed
Thank
it.
you. See, now that's
See, you're a real sicko.
That's the birthday spirit. That's the birthday spirit. Very nice.
Let's go.
Gifts the Cubs have given us since we launched? What are the gifts the Cubs? I've got one.
Friday 120 Club.
Friday 120 Club is a gift that the Cubs have given us that we've given to you. Yeah. Right?
Actual gifts in terms of roster.
The summer Mike Talkman was a gift that we didn't ask for, but it was a CHGO gift that we didn't expect. How about 2 walk-offs against the White Sox at takeovers?
And the catch in
at
St.
Wrigley.
Louis, too. Yeah.
But, I mean, at Wrigley Field, 2 walk-offs on a takeover where we were sitting next to our Sox brethren.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice.
That was cool. We got a combined no-hitter that everyone forgot about.
Who's the guy I won 3 points on who you got?
Esteban Quiros.
The Esteban Quiros game. What a gift that was.
The Christian Bethancourt game.
The Christian Bethancourt game.
How could I forget
Where
the Esteban
were you?
Quiros game?
The Christian Bethancourt game. Yes. 7 RBIs against the Pirates. Yes.
The Esteban Quiros game, though, is one that keeps on giving every year.
That was part
because I can bring it up every single time I want to tell you how smart I am. Esteban Quiros. The 3-point winner on who you got.
If it wasn't for the Esteban Quiros game, who knows if we would have reached the March to 63. All right? Never forget, year 1, we celebrated with champagne to avoid a hard
March
loss
to 63.
season.
We avoided it.
Oh, my gosh.
Now to think where the Cubs could be this year. Maybe we're underestimating them at third base.
I sure hope so. I sure hope we're underestimating them at third base. They have to be right on third base. Like, they just have to. Now, when I say that, I'm not necessarily going to be blaming Jed for this if it doesn't work out, because we all know why they didn't sign Alex Bregman. And it has everything to do with money and this philosophy of not giving out deferrals, which is dumb. Dumb. Okay? Now, do I think that, like, unless third base is absolutely atrocious like it was last year, I think that it will be fine enough that when we look back at the season, I don't think we'll be looking at third base and saying that's the reason we missed the playoffs. I would guess at this point, if they miss the playoffs, it's going to be because of pitching, because the rotation regresses in a negative way, which I've had concerns about all offseason. That, to me, that it will be what we talk about. This is me like projecting or guessing. The Cubs are relying on Justin Steele and Shota Imanaga to put up the same exact season again. They added Matthew Boyd, which is a fine piece. I think he'll be better than Kyle Hendricks. But we all know that they needed a top-of-the-rotation guy. And whether it's trading for Cease or, I don't know, spending money to go get Max Fried or Corbin Burns, I personally think that if they don't make the playoffs, we're going to be talking more about the reason being pitching at this point. That's how I feel in general.
Cody, that's such a great point, too, as well, because it's the same version every single year, right, where they miss out on Bregman, or you guys spend a ton of time talking about Luis Castillo or Dylan Cease. It's always, if we don't
bid on Judge.
If we don't get this guy, there's always something else coming. Now, to be fair, the Cubs always do a version of the next thing coming. Kyle Tucker deserves the credit that it deserves. But to your point, all eyes are going to be pointing towards July, of whether it is going to be Dylan Cease, whether it can be someone or whoever the hot pitcher is on the market. Do the Cubs step up and do what that next thing that all Cubs fans are hoping and expecting from a franchise that, honestly, they're in a big enough market. We all say it. It's the Chicago freaking Cubs.
Dylan Cease would be a nice birthday gift for CHGO this year. That's all I'm saying. By the way, real quickly, that Godfather points out the Cubs did give us the gift of new light bulbs.
Oh, yes. He also had a positive. He had a rare positive comment in the chat earlier. I think about Workman. So that was cool.
He said could be a find.
Yeah, could be a find.
Praise.
Yeah. High praise.
Just the phrase "Ricketts is cheap" is something we've been given from the chat in the last 3 years, many times.
So back to the pitching.
Sorry. Yeah,
you want an optimistic view. Well, you have a healthy Ben Brown that everyone is excited about, and the Cubs are clearly excited about him. I'm excited about him. Cade Horton, you just need him to be healthy. If he's healthy, I think he can be a weapon for you in some form, right? Jordan Wicks, if he's healthy, I think we get more of what we got in 2023 in the second half and in April of last year, right? Those three things, you you have Javier Assad, who eats innings. Of course, the oblique thing right now is incredibly frustrating, and I don't know when he's going to pitch. So he probably gets off to a slow start to the season, right? But he's still a guy that they will have at some point, right? They Colin Ray. It's not flashy.
Nice depth.
It's not flashy, but will he eat innings for you? Well, he pitched 160 of them last year for the Brewers. Will the offense score enough runs so he's not forced to be perfect all the time? I hope so. I think they will. I do think that the offense will be better than last year when you have Kyle Tucker in the lineup and you got a Matt Shaw who's better than anyone that they put at third base just based off prospect ranking and all of that, the potential. I would ride with that more than I would what they had with third base last year. As much as I loved Christopher Morel and I was high on him and I thought he could be a dude. Hand up. I was wrong. And many, 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 many other people were wrong. Okay? So the pitching when you look at it from an optimistic view, to me right now is that it will be the same as last year or better if some of those young guys emerge, the ones that I just mentioned, guys who you feel really good about going every fifth day, or just because you know who your top three are, some guys get spot starts, you do the piggyback role like what they did a lot with, what they probably are going to do a lot with Colin Ray and even Javier Assad, stuff like that. But and can Matthew Boyd give you 120 innings? He pitched well with the Guardians last year, but we all know the injury history. So, that's my true only concern with him. But that's the way that I'm looking at the pitching from a positive and a negative standpoint right now. I'm afraid of negative regression, but that's my negative, and my positive is you have so much talent there. Can you get someone to step up and be just to kind of make you feel a little bit comfortable? Do I think Ben Brown can be an absolute stud? Absolutely. That's how high I think a lot of fans are, including me. We just need to see more, man. We don't have a sample of Justin Steele to show that he's going to be able to do that, you know?
One other way that this can happen, Cody, is another negative becomes a positive, and that is the bullpen.
Yeah.
An absolute dumpster fire into something that becomes a weapon. And if you can listen, they have guys that throw hard. If they can get these guys to start to develop, and some of the names come up, and some of the veterans that they brought in can pitch to their level that they have at points in their career, and somehow you can get that bullpen to be a weapon for 3/4 of the season, because bullpens sometimes go in the roller coaster. But if it can be a weapon, you can also Council can start to use the bullpen as that quote-unquote extra starter. You don't have to send a guy through a third time to see the lineup. He gets out. He has a good start. It's the way we've seen baseball start to work. A guy goes 5 innings. He's out of there before he gets roughed up, and in comes your lights-out bullpen to finish the game the rest of the way. It's another way to make your rotation technically look better than they actually might be. So that's another way that we could see the rotation either hold water or maybe be better, if we're looking at it glass half full, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't disagree. The bullpen, I know a lot of fans wanted Tanner Scott. And if sitting here in hindsight now, I mean, yeah, it'd been nice to have a Tanner Scott, right?
Yeah.
Especially since they didn't get Bregman, especially since they didn't sign any major contracts, right? Like the biggest contract they gave out was probably Matthew Boyd in terms of AAV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. So it is what it is at this point. But when you look at some of the guys I have, and you've seen some of those guys go out there this spring, like I'm looking at the young guys. Like Porter Hodge, he looks like he's still got it, man. He's young. I was
going to say, if you're looking for a gift that the Cubs gave us last year, maybe Porter Hodge is on that list.
Absolutely. Because anytime you can develop a reliever, your own reliever, and not have to go out and pay a guy like Tanner Scott, and then you can use that money, allocate it to someone who can pitch or play every day, or not pitch every day, but pitch every fifth day, or a position player. Like, that's why I've always been on the edge of like not really paying relievers, because they're so volatile, right? But Porter Hodge, it was within your own system. Like if he can do what he did last year for another year and show, like, really cement himself as like that that either the setup man or, eventually go into that closer role as season goes on, whatever it is. Like, I think, I don't disagree with the Cubs' vision of him and Ryan Presley being really, two really good back-end arms. I think it's better than what they had last year, undoubtedly. At least in the back end, whether it was, Aberdazole at the beginning with, Neris in the 8th inning, or if it was Neris or Leiter Jr. or, Jorge Lopez / Tyson Miller.
Tyson Miller, who struggled this spring.
Right. So I think there is certainly more depth there, but I do think that there is higher upside for a lot of the guys that are in the bullpen.
So if you're looking for a gift for CHGO Cubs' 3rd birthday, it would be maybe the rotation is better, the bullpen is better, those types of things.
I'm asking for the rotation to actually just be exactly what it was last year.
You know what? This is what I got 2 things I want for CHGO Cubs' birthday. Number 1, shorter games. Continue the games being shorter. Less than 3 hours.
Never
Every
change.
game. I don't want a 3-hour game all season, and I don't want any rain delays. That's the number 1 thing I ask for.
You could have done peace on earth, but you went with shorter games. Good call.
And then I want the playoffs. After that, I want short games. I want the playoffs. And, of course, I want peace on earth. That's the 3rd thing I want is peace on earth. And for the children of the world
to hold hands.
To hold hands together. But I just want, if we could have one gift, could we have, in 4 seasons of covering Cubs baseball with CHGO, could we have a playoff team?
Seriously.
One with some action in the postseason that gives everybody something to cheer for, something to be excited about.
Some reason to wake up and get excited.
Can you bring us out of this slumber we've been in for how many years now?
7, 8 years.
7 or 8 years? That's all we want. I just want Cubs fans to be back to being Cubs fans. There's some Cubs fans have unquestionably split off for a little while. They've gone back to their family routines and doing things. It's not that they're not watching. They'll still go to a game or 2 a summer, but they're not watching every game because they know there's no chance the team's going to do anything. Can we change that this season? That's what I want for CHGO's birthday.
Same.
Playoff baseball. Real baseball. That's all we're asking for. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so today is the day we launched. It was 3-4. Now, that was strategic because we were going to launch about this time anyway. And they said 3-4 is the birthday of Chicago. March 4th is the birthday of Chicago. So we said, well, that would be a cool day to launch the network. It could be our birthday too. It also lines up with Walter Payton, 34. Greatest football player of all time. Greatest running back of all time, some would say. I would say both. By the way, the deal is $34 right now, right? To be a diehard just today till midnight, right. $34.
Just today, God, that's as low as it gets. That's crazy good price.
That is. It's unbelievable.
Really good price.
So the numbers we're talking about here, I like to play a little numbers game.
Yep. And Chuggos.
It's our 3rd birthday. Keep in mind the number 3, okay? That also brings into play the number 33 because 3-3, all right? It also, the date is 3-4. So we know the Walter Payton, Kerry Wood thing. Brings in the number 3, it brings in the number 4, it brings in 33, and it brings in 34. I'm not including 44. This is the numbers game. Are you ready to play? I'm going to give you some clues. Play along now. Play along. This is the birthday numbers game at CHGO Cubs. These are players or coaches or managers that wore 3, 4, 34, or 33. How well do you know your Cubs numbers? And I will fully admit before we start playing this game, I am horrible at this.
Same.
Absolutely horrible. Sometimes people ask me numbers of players on the guys on 2016. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I can picture them, but I have no idea what number they wore.
I only know like the...
Right now I'm trying to remember Dexter Fowler. I can't tell you what number Dexter Fowler wore.
24. 22?
24. Sounds correct.
22 was Addison Russell.
Yeah, 24.
Or no.
Way to bring that up on a birthday.
20,
Dexter Fowler, March birthday.
22 was Jason Hayward, actually. But Addison Russell did have it. when he got called up, and then when they signed Hayward, they switched.
Now, Barb, stop just throwing names out there right now. I'm going to ask questions. She's just throwing out anybody that wore those numbers.
She's on it.
I was going to say PCA because he now
PCA
is
currently number 4. That's right. That is right.
Does Council have 3?
Here we go. Are you ready? Godfather's just throwing out names now too. I'm thinking of 2 pitching greats in Cubs history that wore the number 34. This should be easy. This one I would think would be easy for most people.
It is.
Pitching greats in Cubs history, they wore number 34. Does everybody have this? Cody, you definitely have this. Joey, you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Kerry Wood, John Lester, right? Simple enough? If I threw in one more pitcher from a great Cubs team that wore 34, does anybody have a shot at that? The name of a fish is your clue. The name of a fish is your clue. This is way before Cody. This is more my era. Wood, Lester, and, yes, Barb, Fergie wore 31. That is not a part of it.
Trout?
Yes, Steve Trout wore number 34. All right, now we're going to the...
To be honest, I only know who he is because he comes to Cubs convention every now and then.
And his name is a fish. Steve Trout. That's right, Tater. Steve Trout. Vince got it right. Barb got it right. I knew she would. All right, now we're going to the glory days of number 4. And by that, I am joking. From 2019 to 2021,
okay,
Tony Kemp wore number 4.
Oh.
And Eric Sogard wore number 4.
That broke the rule.
Goggles.
That was just for Brendan.
You broke the rule. You're not supposed to say it.
Which catcher in Cubs history wore the number 4 in between Tony Kemp and the great Eric Sogard?
The number in between?
Yeah. Somebody wore number 4. First it was Kemp, then it was player X, and then it was Eric Sogard. From 19 to 21, there was one Cubs catcher that wore number 4. It was in 2020, if that helps. Does anybody have an idea who that catcher might be? I forgot he even caught for the Cubs because he caught for both teams in town.
Lobatone.
No.
Jose Lobatone. No? How did I know that?
Here's another clue. I vaguely remember this player. I vaguely remember
Alex
this.
Avila?
I vaguely remember this
Alex
player
Avila's before.
being a Cubs catcher.
In 2019 to 2021.
That's right, Gary Ross. Josh Fagley.
Josh Fagley. There it is.
The glory
Josh
days
Fagley.
of number 4. Kemp to Fagley to Sogard.
Good guess on Karen
quick
Team.
trivia question.
Okay.
Who did the Cubs get in return for Tony Kemp?
Josh Fagley?
No.
Oh. Tony Kemp.
The real sickos would know this.
No, we've talked about this, but my mind doesn't work the way it used to. Give me a hint.
I played in 2022 with the Cubs.
What position?
First base. He kind of played all over, but I think he played majority first base.
2022. I was going to say Mancini or somebody, but that's not.
That's 2023.
That's 2023.
Helping you out now.
Who is it?
Alfonso Rivas.
Oh, Rivas.
Remember his hot streak
Also
in LA
the glory
and,
days.
That is
LA
a
and San
sicko
Diego?
pull.
That
is
the
a
glory
sicko.
days. That was a great one.
Well, I
But Tony Kemp had a Jersey day in Oakland.
He did. He did. I do look forward to when we look back on Miles Mastroboni for consideration of cash.
Yes.
That jersey's gonna hit
The best
so
kind of
good.
gift.
It's gonna hit
Okay, here
so
we go.
good.
Another number. Somebody that wore 3, 4, 33, or 34. This Cubs manager wore 2 jerseys, 4 and 33. He wore 2 of those jerseys, and it's relatively recent Cubs history. He wore the number 33, and he wore the number 4. A Cubs manager that wore both of them. Joey knows this?
I think I do, but let's see if the chat can get it.
It's not again, it's one you can forget. But he wore 4 and 33, a Cubs manager. When he first became Cubs manager, he was 33. The next season, he was number 4. Not Jim Riggleman.
Yeah, Craig says Riggleman.
Had to have worn both of these.
Cubs manager number 33
okay.
and 4.
Think
Dale Swaim.
Yes, Dale Swaim is correct.
Cubs legend.
That's not spelled correctly, Gary, but that's all right. We don't spelling doesn't matter in this.
Yeah.
All right.
You should see Luke spell.
This Cub wore number 3 in 2015 and 16, and then again from 2020 to 2023.
Oh, that's David Ross.
That is David Ross. Rossi.
Nice.
Rossi, right?
Yeah, David
First as a player, then as a manager.
March birthday, I believe, March 19th.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Oh, tomorrow's a big one. Tomorrow for birthdays.
Tomorrow is actually a big one for Chicago baseball in
Big
general.
Big one for Chicago baseball. Yeah, tomorrow's birthdays. And then on my birthday, you know who I share it with on Thursday? Jake Arrieta. Similar physique.
Cut from the same cloth,
Some have said similar physiques.
Similar physiques for sure. Absolutely.
You can't see Luke's legs, but identical matches.
Right. Some people say it goes Farnsworth, Arrieta, and then I'm just a hair below that for cut.
Hell
cuts,
yeah.
they call it. The cuts.
Oh, yeah.
Swollen cuts. All right. This player was the big offseason signing in 2020.
Big offseason.
He wore number 33 before Wave 'em Home Willie Harris.
Jason Kipnis.
No.
Oh, no, this is going into 21?
This is the 2020 season.
This is going into the 2020 season?
He was the big...
Is this going to make Cody upset?
Yes. This was the big off-season signing the Cubs made. He wore number 33 before Wave 'em Home Willie Harris. Does anybody have this?
There's probably a second baseman that makes me want to jump.
Oh, you're on.
You're getting higher.
Definitely infielder.
Was it Sogar? It was Sogar.
No.
Or Gary says Daniel Descalso.
Gary's got it.
Was it Daniel?
Yeah.
I thought he got signed going into 2019.
Well, I have him playing 2020. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. I think it was Daniel Descalso. Now, I could be wrong, but that doesn't matter.
Okay, whatever. Maybe he was signed going into 2020, but I swear it was going into 2019.
He played in 2020, right? I believe so.
I thought it was Darvish in 19, and I thought the big swing was
Descalso
going in 20. Is it
Darvish?
Back one more?
Darvish was going they
Can
signed
anybody look
Darvish going
this up
into
and
18.
confirm it? I know we should know, but we don't sometimes. I think I know.
It's our birthday.
Anyways,
It's honestly real sick
Don't tell
that
me-
I even think I know.
don't even try to tell me I'm wrong on my birthday. Thursday or today. All right. 4 managers wore the number 4 from 82 to 87. Gary says Cody is wrong.
Okay.
Can we clip that?
Cody is wrong.
And then, Gary, next one, if you could also put out Luke is right. There it is. Can we clip that right there? That's
Luke
what I
is
want to see. Happy birthday.
It's bothering me. I'm going to go look this
Okay,
up.
4 managers. I'm going to give you hints anyways. 4 managers wore the number 4 from 82 to 87. Barb has mentioned the third to wear it, which was Don Zimmer. Okay? So it's 2 before Don Zimmer and 1 after Don Zimmer. Zim, I believe, wore both, Barb. 1 is known for yes, Gary has another one. Charlie Fox is number 2 on the list. Zimmer is number 3 on the list. Think rant. Epic rant. Huh? Anybody got?
Come on,
who's got
chat.
the most
You
epic
can do
rant
this.
in Cubs history? Epic rant in Cubs history. Lee Elia. Then Charlie Fox. Then Don Zimmer. And then, nobody will get this, Gene Michael.
All right. I'm looking at Daniel Descalso's baseball reference right now.
Gene Michael, that's right.
His first season with the Cubs was in 2019.
But he didn't wear that number that year.
He didn't? He changed
I think he wore it in 20. I don't know. Gary said I was right and determined you were wrong. Okay.
Gary isn't always right, all right?
This one is tricky. That's right. Gary Ross. I had it, Luke, he said. Gene Michael. How about this? This pitching coach wore the number 34 from 88 to 91. This Cubs pitching coach. Are you risking your $1 to try and bet? No.
Yeah.
Wrong station. Pitching coach that wore 34 from 88 to 91.
This is literally an exercise in who can Google this fast enough. I do not have this one. Pitching coach?
Pitching coach. Anybody? Gary? Barb? The great Dick Pole. Dick Pole, pitching coach for the Cubs from 88 to 91, wore number 34. Now, you had a couple of guys that have birthdays on these dates?
Yeah, so, I just pulled up really quick because we're just talking birthdays today. There's a lot of Chicago Cubs having birthdays this month that are super fun. There is one person with a birthday today, former Cub. The hint is he wouldn't always button his jersey all the way up.
Oh.
Patrick Wisdom?
He was an open
flapper.
jersey guy.
He likes the flap. No T-shirt underneath?
Open jersey guy, second clue, mid-season acquisition.
A lot of guys. Rizzo left the flap open sometimes, didn't he?
Third one, outfielder.
Outfielder. Dexter Fowler birthday? No.
Fourth one, signed the next year in the division and now plays for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Nick Castellanos.
Correct. Today's his birthday.
Castellanos' birthday.
The jersey. Yeah. His jersey did always.
Oh, he was
he was an open. Yeah. He was a chest
He was like,
guy.
let me show you my body.
Yeah. You want to see the rug on my chest? Here it is.
All right. Can we the Scalzo question?
He only wore that number in 2020. Now, the way I worded the question, I said big free agent acquisition in 2020. Was that in 2019 that he was the free agent acquisition? Is that where you're?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I thought the question was. But I'm whatever.
Well, he was a guy that was a free agent, and he was their big acquisition, and then he wore 33, Daniel Descalso.
Right.
And yeah, you're right. Eric Sogard, if Brendan didn't hear that, Eric Sogard also wore one of those great numbers.
I hope I never have to endure that type of pain ever again. Daniel Descalso, he was like he was the secret agent from St. Louis who came in and just purposely sucked. When I was told Bryce Harper was on the list, but whatever. I'm letting it go. I'm not letting it go, but I'm letting it go the rest of the day. Happy birthday.
Would have been nice if somebody made us a cake in the shape of a baseball bat or a beer bat, huh?
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, we had fun. Happy birthday to us. Don't forget the Diehard deal. Again, $34. It ends at midnight. It's our best deal ever. Be a sicko. Be a diehard. Get the card that gets you respect.
Respect.
Anywhere you go. Thanks for checking out CHGO Cubs, presented by Toyota, back at 1:30 tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Happy birthday to us. Credit to us. Fly the W.